Hey guys, my name's Joseph Graff. Welcome back to the channel for those of you who have watched some of my previous videos. In today's video, we're going to talk a little bit about the stocks in my Robinhood portfolio that I've invested the most money into. In my Robinhood portfolio, I've invested in quite a few different companies and more or less invested a pretty equal portion of money in each of those companies. However, there are some stocks that I firmly believe in, and because of that, I decided to invest more money into those stocks. As an investor, I believe it's always important to be able to explain why you decided to make a certain investment. Because if you're not doing that, then you're really just speculating. You're saying, well, this stock might go up, so that's why I'm going to buy it. I don't like that. I always think that you should be able to say, you know what, I have X, Y, and Z reason why I think this stock will go up. This is based on factual evidence. I could be wrong, but based on the analysis that I have undertaken, this is what I believe is going to happen. So that being said, we'll jump into my Robinhood portfolio. I'll show you the stocks that I have invested the most money into and talk to you all about why I invested in those stocks. All right, so here we are in my Robinhood portfolio. I'll scroll down and show you all the stocks that I own. Like I said, in today's video, I'm just going to be covering the biggest holdings of this portfolio. If you all would like to see a little bit more explanation of why I own a lot of these stocks, I'll post links to videos in the description where I actually talk about those. That being said, one of my biggest holdings is Visa. Visa is a credit card company, a payments company. It's performed pretty well since I bought it. I bought 3 shares all at various times, and I'm up about 45%. I'll show you all the chart here pretty quick. So over the past 5 years, it's up almost 227%. Over the past year, it's only up about 18%. Up a little under 1% in the past 3 months. Actually down a little bit in the past month. Down a little bit in the past week as well. So one of the things I look for when I'm thinking about researching a stock or about investing in a stock is I look at the price to earnings ratio. So what this does is it tells me a big picture idea of what the market expects this stock to do. So in general, a higher earnings ratio or price to earnings ratio means that the market expects this company to continue to grow in the future. That's why people are willing to pay this extra amount of money to invest in the company. They realize that maybe the company isn't generating a huge amount of earnings right now, but they have a lot of potential to generate more in the future. So I looked at the price to earnings ratio, and keep in mind that the price to earnings ratio doesn't necessarily dictate whether I buy a stock or not. It mostly just tells me what I could expect out of this stock. So here I am looking at Visa, and one of the reasons I really like Visa, I really believe in Visa, is because I think the world is going to continue to move away from cash and keep using credit cards, debit cards, that kind of stuff. So Visa makes money every time a credit card is used in a transaction. And to me, I think that is the coolest thing ever. I mean, basically, every purchase, Visa, if somebody's using a Visa card, Visa's getting a cut of that. So I just think that's really cool. I think it's a good business model, and I see no reason why they wouldn't continue to generate money in the future. And I think they're going to continue to increase their earnings in the future as people use credit cards more and more and use cash less and less. Now, they do have some competitors like MasterCard, American Express, and truthfully, I think those are probably good investments to make as well. But I think Visa is the best out of those, and because of that, I just really like Visa, and I would like to continue to hold it pretty much forever if I can, because I think it's going to be a company that just will continue to generate money year after year, and it will just be a really good long-term investment. So that's kind of why I decided to purchase Visa. And moving forward, I think I would really like to add to this position, purchase some more shares of Visa. So that's going to be something I'll be looking to do in the future, especially if there's any sort of dip. Now, that being said, I would probably sell some of my shares of Visa if all of a sudden it just jumped up a ton and I, saw a good opportunity to take some money off the table and then possibly buy some more at a lower cost. That being said, I usually don't try to time the market, so I think Visa is probably something that I would just hold on to. I think it would take something like some kind of company scandal or something to get me to sell this company, because like I said, it's just something I really believe in and really like. Alright, so you all will probably see here, Chegg is actually one of my bigger holdings, and I'm not going to talk about that in the video today because I actually talked about it quite a bit in my last video. So I will post a link to that video in the description, and if you all would like to know why I decided to invest a lot of money into Chegg, you all can check out that video. So the next stock I would like to talk about is Waste Management, and Waste Management is probably one of my favorite stocks. So over the past 5 years, it is up 146%. Past year, it's up a little over 26%. Last 3 months, it's down about 1%. Last month, it's down about 3.6%. And over the last week, it's actually up 3.5%. So Waste Management has a price to earnings ratio of 28. To me, that means it's kind of priced like a growth stock. A little bit of growth is expected, but in general, that's pretty close to the market average of around 23 or 24 for price to earnings ratio. Like I said, it's a little on the higher end in that regard. But it does have a pretty nice dividend. I actually just received a dividend today from it. They pay out a little over 50 cents a share. So talking about Waste Management, the reason that I really love this company is it has a defensive aspect to it as well as a growth aspect to it. So I'm thinking that if there's a recession, people are still going to continue to produce waste. Companies are still going to continue to produce waste. Residential customers will continue to produce waste. And because of that, I think Waste Management will continue to do well during a recession. That being said, I have done a little research, and it does seem like waste overall does seem to go down during a recession because in general, companies tend to produce less products, and that leads to less waste. But at the same time, waste will still be a thing even during a recession, which is why I think this company does have a defensive aspect to it. Now, on the other side, I think this company has a huge opportunity for growth in the future. So some of you all might know, because I've talked about this in a previous video, but I am a mechanical engineer. I just got my mechanical engineering degree. And one of the things that I actually wrote a research paper on in my undergraduate studies was waste to energy conversion technology. And pretty much what this is being able to convert trash, specifically like biomass, so, a lot of plant matter and stuff like that, converting it into energy. I believe Waste Management does already have some waste to energy technologies, but I think the opportunity in the future will be much, much greater as these waste to energy technologies improve and they can, generate more and more energy with the waste that they receive. So that's partly why I really like Waste Management. I also just think it's a pretty solid company with a pretty good track record, and I think it will continue to grow in the future, and that's why I decided to invest a large portion of my money into Waste Management. All right, guys, so the last investment that I'm going to talk about in my video today is actually not a stock, but an ETF. It is the Vanguard Mega Cap Value ETF. So just to show you all the history on this, it's up about 38% over the past 5 years. It's up a little over 0.5% in the past year, up about 0.8% in the past 3 months, up a little under 4% in the past month, and it's about even on the week. So the reason why I like this ETF is because it tracks large stocks that are also considered to be value investments. So all the stocks that it has within it, they tend to have lower price to earnings ratios compared to the overall market. So you can see here the price to earnings ratio for this ETF is 18, which is significantly lower than the market average, which is like 23 or 24. Another thing I like about this is the dividend yield is about 2.7%. So it's nice receiving those payments quarterly. All time, I'm up a little under 7% on this. It's not as big of gains as you saw with Visa and Waste Management, but I'm still pretty happy with it. This number also does not take into account the dividends that I've received from that. So if you were to take that into account, it's probably more like 10 or 11%, which I think is respectable for only having it for about a year or two. So the reason I like large cap value stocks so much is because historically they have outperformed growth stocks. Warren Buffett has talked about this before, how value stocks tend to be better investment than growth stocks. You're not going to hit the home runs with value stocks like you do with growth stocks. You're not going to invest in something like Google and just make 10, 20, 30 times your money. But over time, I do think you're going to get those nice steady returns. And in general, value stocks just tend to be better investments, unless you're just really, really good at picking growth stocks. So that's why I decided to invest in this ETF. And that being said, I think I'm going to wrap up today's video. I really appreciate you all watching this video. Hopefully you all learned a little bit about why I decided to invest in these stocks and ETFs. If you liked the video, please hit the like button below and please subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching today. Bye.